Well, gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
I'm doing good.
Ready for a beer.
It's time. It's a beer time.
It is beer time. Let's have a
Beer
beer.
o'clock
Wait,
somewhere.
Beer
Yeah.
time. Well, I'm Ian, and I got Dave, Jared, and Nick here with me on the couch.
Hi there.
Yo.
No.
We are the Couch Co-op, and we drink a beer every week, and we tell you what you think. We tell you what we think of that beer. So, like, if you listen to our show, you can be like, man, I don't know what beers to drink. And then you can listen to our podcast and we'll be like, drink this beer, drink that beer, but don't drink that fucking beer, like that fucking peanut butter stout shit. Don't drink that shit. But like we can tell you other beers that are good to drink. And that's what our show is for. Unless you like stouts that are weird, then like Jared, then you can have the peanut butter stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe you might want to think about that.
Yeah, you might want to. Anyway, we are a podcast, and you can find us on all the good podcast outlets, iTunes, Spotify, all of them. They carry us because we're cool. And then what else? We pick a beer each week. We tell you what we think of that beer. And then, yeah, that's the podcast. We take turns picking those beers. And tonight, it's my turn.
Yeah.
So tonight, I'm a lager fan. I like lagers. Big fan of Japanese lagers. And tonight, we're doing Asahi.
We're going to have the only Italian-Japanese lager.
Italian-Japanese. It's almost like
This beer
World
is so
War
quirky.
II all over
The more I
again.
look at the bottle, the more like I'm just like, what's going on here? Anyway, let's crack it.
Let's crack it. 3, 2,
All right.
3, 2, 1.
One. Popping it.
First,
Dude,
first thing-
you smell it. It's like it's skunky right out the bat, man.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
smells like a
It's
normal
Heineken
European
skunky, isn't it? It's
skunky.
like-
yeah.
It's like you bend a woman over and smell her ass, and that's what you smell. You just smell ass.
Oh man, there's Ian for you.
Yeah.
He's in rare form
No.
today, everybody.
Rare form.
That is tasty.
It's if we're comparing beers, it's a bit more aggressive than Sapporo.
Yes.
It's got a bit more hops. I feel like it's a bit more just generally dirty. It's just
Yeah, it's definitely
The girl
towards
who
the
bent
kind
over.
of
skunkier.
skunky Heineken, like
It's
that lager skunk kind of. Than
Well, they call it a super dry.
super dry. Yeah, I don't know what that means. They call, but
Well,
like
after a
Asahi
sip or
is
two,
super dry.
I'm kind of feeling like it dries your mouth out.
They call it Kakakuchi.
That's
Kara-
Karakakuchi.
I was gonna
Karakuchi.
ask you if you knew what that meant, but
Well, no, it means super. It means super dry.
So-
I think that's what it's.
No.
No, it's in that vein.
Okay.
before we get too far
Karakakuchi.
into the beer, it's like there's a couple of things about this bottle that I thought were really interesting. One is it's 11.2 fluid ounces, i.e. 330. They do make this in a 350 can, which is more your traditional 12 ounce. But I really like the top of the label, and I don't know if you guys notice this.
Product of Italy. And I feel like that's because
Well, shoot, with the beer
the
that we had
version we
last
get
week,
is
it's
from
like
Italy.
We've got the entire Axis powers here, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I think that is that Japan ships very little beer to us. And I think Europe ships a bunch of beer to us. And I think they have Asahi
No,
has breweries over in Italy, and they just make that beer and then ship a bunch of other
Yeah.
beers with it. You know,
Maybe it's more popular in Europe, but also maybe it's just cheaper to buy the malt in Europe for export than it is to buy in Japan.
Yeah, but I think they own Peroni. I think they own a shit ton of beers, and I think they just have
Yes.
a brewery that pops out a bunch of beers and they just ship it from Europe versus
Well,
the one beer they ship from Japan.
they own Grolsch.
Yeah,
Peroni,
Grolsch. See,
Pilsner
jeez.
Urquell.
Prisoner of
And,
Quell. See, they make
And
so
then
they
a bunch of ones that are not as familiar, if you know what I mean.
so I think they just brew a bunch of beers in Europe and then just push it. And why make beer in Japan and then ship it to Europe and then ship it to America when they can just brew it all in Europe and push it
Although
over
it's-
to us?
In some respects, it is kind of funny because it's actually it's probably closer. We're probably closer to Japan.
Oh,
than we
probably.
are to,
But
Yeah.
it's cheaper to send all that beer versus a little bit and
Yeah,
then a
doesn't
bunch.
Sapporo kind of do something like that too?
Yeah, I think Sapporo. I
Some
don't
of their
think
beer like
Sapporo's from Vietnam. The
So I
Sapporo
feel-
we get isn't from Japan; it's from Vietnam.
I feel like this is just a better hidden
Mm.
version of Newcastle Brown Ale. You know when we had that. and it was brewed in
No, this is
in
nothing
Florida.
like Newcastle Brown.
No, not as an ale, not
Oh.
anything to do with the taste and all the rest of it. It's the same kind of deal. It's like it's a brand name that they've just slapped on it and they brew it wherever.
Right,
You know,
Yeah.
100%.
It's
Mm.
totally divorced from any geographic location.
That's one of those funny things. Like you at Total Wine, Newcastle Brown is in the import section, but when you
Yeah.
know about it, it's like no, it's just made by Lagunitas. It's not
Well, I
It's
bought-
not imported
Yeah, it's
anymore.
funny.
I bought Old
Yeah.
Speckled Hen. Not Old Speckled Hen. I bought another British beer, Mackinson's Milk Stout, and that was brewed in Florida. And it was
Oh,
just
funny.
like,
Mm.
so really, you have, it is kind of one of these things where it's like, some of these have just become brands that are
Just a
But
label.
totally
but
divorced.
but Asahi is a big brand, so like Asahi owns a shit ton. They choose to produce this version for America in Italy, but Asahi is a huge like Budweiser type brand in Japan,
And the counterpoint to that, Ian, which I would say is like Budweiser. That's-
Right.
They brew that in England.
Exactly.
They brew it in, or perhaps not England, but they brew it in Europe. They don't import all the Budweiser from the main brewery. So
But
not
Asahi and
necessarily a
Sapporo
bad
are
thing.
big brands that own other big brands. They're not
Mhm.
like owned by like a Budweiser. They're like their own companies, They're
But
not
how does the Budweiser?
what?
I was gonna ask, how does the Budweiser taste over there? Does it
Yeah,
taste
what is
pretty
there a
similar to
difference?
what's available here?
kind of
don't-
like it does here, but
You know what's funny? I
mean-
don't drink Budweiser when I'm overseas. I drink
I think
European
once you
beers.
once you get into the mass-produced beers, even like Stella and all the rest, and Heineken, they're kind of like the McDonald's of beers in some respects.
Huh.
You go in,
Yeah.
they taste a certain way, and if you like that taste, if you order a Stella anywhere in the world, you'll get a Stella. I mean, it's like it'll taste like a Stella, and
But
I think this
do you-
is the same. Budweiser's the same.
But do you find it funny, a little bit funny, like so Germany is like kind of considered a mecca of beer. For most people consider
Yeah.
it kind of a mecca of beer, but most of their beer brands are owned by someone else, whereas Japan, not a mecca of beer, but a mecca of beer ownership. Like America, like there's Budweiser and Coors, they own a shit ton, and then Sapporo and Asahi own a shit ton of other beers, but not. That seems weird to me that like Germany wouldn't have like just put their flag in the ground and be like, we're gonna own. No, we're just gonna sell out. It seems weird.
There might have been a World War II that.
Is that what it is? I mean, there was. I mean,
probably
sure,
didn't help
but
that, those matters.
Japan was part of that, and they failed. They lost.
Anyway, we should go back to talking about the actual beer.
I
as
think
opposed
it's
to the
part of it
politics
though. Like,
beer.
how has Japan become such a superpower in beer? When really, I don't know. It seems interesting. It's an interesting thing to
Well,
me.
they're also becoming the superpower in whiskey. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Japanese
the
whiskey
Japanese
is the
whiskey is
definite
definitely
thing,
huge.
and I have some in my cupboard here, and it's very good.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
So there's three. There's three. What is there? There's Sapporo. There's Asahi, and then there's Kirin. Right? Those are like the three kind of
those are
main.
the three really big ones. Yeah.
Is Kirin actually their own shit, or are they owned by someone currently?
But Budweiser does
Owns
that
Kirin.
stuff. I don't know if they own them, but they are partners in some
Partnered.
form.
Partnered. So America has crawled up the ass of one of them.
yeah. You gotta
Yeah,
think
but
though, in the world we live in today, I mean, if people just buy up brands because they're good to sell
consolidation.
around the world. I mean,
So
this is brand recognition, and it's
so generally when I go to sushi, I will order a Sapporo. That's my choice, and I feel like that beer goes really good with sushi. I've never really had Asahi until lately, just to try it, and it's just such a much more aggressive beer, in my opinion. And
It's really malty.
malty, a little more hoppy. I just feel like it's a little bit more aggressive than
it's just
Sapporo.
got a lot more going on than Sapporo. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's working against it because when I have sushi, I want to taste the sushi, and I like that light Sapporo to kind of float over my tongue, and it kind of brings out the flavors. This
Like
beer, it just
palate.
kind of attacks my palate. Like
So the way I would see it is I would almost see Sapporo being like the beer you have with your food, and then you go to the bar afterwards and you get this because you want that little more flavor because you're not pairing it with anything. The beer is the flavor.
but do I? I don't even know if I really like the flavor of this. I don't think this is well balanced. I think it's
I
kind of.
think I think the malted the grains are maybe a little overcooked. I taste like kind of a
Burnt. Yeah,
malty
I agree with that.
flavor to it. I'd say.
Maybe-
I would say I don't dislike this beer. I don't love it. It's
That's where I'm at.
yeah. Ian's kind of right. It's not smooth enough that you feel like you could just chug these down till the cows come home.
I would
Okay.
choose something else over this every time. Like I had never really like I've always picked Sapporo, and even though Asahi's always been on the menu, I've never had not until lately had I ever had Asahi, but like I've always just I like Sapporo. I feel like Sapporo brings out the flavors of the food. I like the way it's just a good experience. Having Asahi, I was just like, wow, this is a kind of a harsh beer.
Yeah, it says a quick, clean finish, and I must admit, no,
Yeah, no.
it's not a clean finish. Having said that, it's not a bad beer. It's just not.
I will
Ideal.
I wanna pass this over to Nick a little bit, but I kind of like also feel like it's kind of course banquety. Nick DeWin, your feelings on this
No,
beer?
I don't feel very Coors Banquety about this.
Really?
No, I mean it's not. Well, it's pretty much same opinion as the room. It's just, I mean, I'm not really digging the aftertaste.
Yeah. The aftertaste is a little
It's
harsh.
just it kind of.
It's harsh.
It's
You could put
I
it
kind
in
of
a
want
12
to
pack
drink
of
some
this.
water to rinse it.
I'm not that against it. It's like
Yeah,
it's
I'm not against it.
one and done. But by the same token, it's on the shelf of beers. This is not the first one I would reach for.
100%. I could, if my
And
bro,
this
if
is not
Dave,
something I'm having
my
with
bro
sushi
Dave
either.
grabbed a 12 pack of Sahi and we were getting trashed, that's fine. But like,
Yeah, I could enjoy this on a summer afternoon. Where barbecue or whatever. It'd be like, yeah, this isn't the greatest, but it isn't bad. It's not. So, I think you can see where my review's going.
I think all of us, I think we're kind of in unanimous. Like, I love this kind of beer, and I feel like this beer is like on the low end of what I feel.
It's not a sushi beer, that's for sure.
It isn't.
And I must admit, that's sometimes where our ratings come in. It's like, I can give a thumbs up to a beer, but I feel like 3.5, 3 stars is about where it should be, i.e. 3/4. And sometimes, so between the four of us, it kind of works out a lot of times. It's like, yeah, it's not a full 4 thumbs up, but it's not necessarily all 4 half point either.
But following on what Nick said, it's not a sushi beer. Is that a shitty thing to say? Like all Japanese beer should accompany sushi? Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
because nobody ever talks about American beers. Oh, this would be a shitty beer with a burger.
But they should. I
Actually,
mean,
I
kind
do.
of. Maybe they should. You know. I mean, I just.
Maybe it's a style we need to explore because I'm sure Japan has
Well,
all
I
the
think,
IPAs and all the rest of it that we do. I mean, they're just
well,
not readily
and
available.
to be fair, most of the time we probably see any of these Japanese beers outside of going into like an Asian store is at a sushi place. I mean, it's not
Exactly.
like they're prominently featured at a grocery store.
Right.
Yeah,
I
most
mean,
of the beers,
except for Sapporo and that awesome can. But
but it's
Oh,
the
that
same for
can so
most of these
good.
beers. It's like if you go to a Thai restaurant, that's when you see Thai beers. If you go to a
Yeah.
Chinese restaurant, that's when you see Chinese beers. Unless you're actually going to like a local supermarket that stocks a particular type of food or is
I
catered to a particular demographic, you don't see these beers. It's not like they're necessarily readily available at
I
your
feel that
Winco.
beers from other countries like China or Japan or anything like that are not distributed very well. It's like just a few of the really big ones kind of make it over here. Like I don't know, most countries. Like, what do you know an Australian beer that you can easily get that's not Foster's?
Oh, well,
You know,
every
I
time I
mean,
go
there's a
back
lot of
to
breweries.
England, I mean, there's a whole aisle of beers
Yeah.
that I know that I just know I
Mhm.
can't get over it. I mean, Old Speckled Hen is one of the few that is available to some regularity, but even then, it's not much.
Yeah, so it'd be fun to go to like an Asian market and just buy some of the stuff that they kind of imported themselves versus getting from a distributor or something like that, if that's a possibility anywhere. Because yeah, most of these places will just carry, the top three brands of whatever country that has it. I don't know if there's really any easy way to get it other
Well,
than
let's face
the
it, we've been
distributors. I
doing
don't
this
think they
show long
legally can
enough
import it.
that, like, there's some beers I can get in Oregon that you can't get in Washington and vice
Yeah,
versa. I mean, we've run into that, and these are beers that are produced in the United States of America. It's not like
yeah, it's wild.
by massive
it's,
breweries. I mean, that Goose Island was hard to find, and
Yeah,
you're
Dude,
like they're one of the biggest.
Total Wine repacked that
yeah.
right away, man. There were like 20 of them back in the singles when I was
yeah.
Exactly, but I mean, it's like that was really hard to find in Oregon, and I mean,
disgusting beer. Disgusting.
And
Anyway, no.
and
yeah,
the
I don't
sad
mean
thing
to
is
do that.
the same Bud distributor that distributes Goose Island up in Vancouver is the same one that'll distribute out to Dave's area,
Mhm.
which so that's kind of a head scratcher as to why that
But
is.
Budweiser
Yeah.
is a delicious beer, and we shouldn't harp on it too much. So
Oh,
No,
I'm
we're
not
not
harping
harping
on
on it.
it.
We're talking about the distribution aspect.
I know. Hey,
It
we
there's
need to
some
talk about
beers.
this beer, and we need to rate this beer,
Oh yeah.
Asahi. What are you fuckers rating Asahi? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs middling.
I'm on the side.
I'm a
It's
thumb
not a
middle.
bad
I'm a
beer.
I'm
thumb
gonna
Yeah.
middling.
side. It's forgettable. It's not bad.
It's not
It's not good.
forgettable. I think
I wouldn't say no
I
to it.
wouldn't
Yeah, it's
say
not
it's
forgettable
forgettable.
because
I
I'm still tasting it
I
3
feel
minutes
like when I
later.
see it, it's like, oh, I know what that beer is. I don't know if
Yeah.
I want it. Like
Makes me want a glass
I'm
of
gonna
water.
remember
Yeah.
Asahi. I'd rather have a Sapporo or a Kirin Ichiban or whatever. I'd rather have something. Yeah. Anyway,
It's not something I'm gonna grab off the shelf.
yes, yes.
There are
Yeah, 'cause it's
plenty
not
of other
there.
import lagers of the Japanese
I've been
style that
holding on to this one. It's like, nah, I'm done. I just
I
wanna.
would choose over this.
I wanna. I'm done with. Yeah, I'm probably. Honestly, unless someone hands me one, I'm probably never gonna buy this beer again.
No, I might order it if I was in a restaurant and this
No.
was,
If it's the only one.
but only because of name recognition.
But if it's
Because I know I
Sapporo or
was-
Yeah.
Kirin, I'd pick
Yeah.
those over it any day.
Yeah.
Or even, I mean, there's some, what's awesome? There's some great new Japanese
Yeah.
style, like the Steel and Sun. There's what
There's
is
the
there's
Nest beers. I don't know if you've had any of those. They're quite expensive.
no,
over here.
but Level
Those are-
has Sweep the Leg. It's a Japanese style lager. Oh, very good. I didn't.
Yeah.
We had the Frim. I don't know if you drank the Frim one yet, Nick. Didn't we both get one? Did you get one?
Yes.
I did not
I
like
believe I
that
drank
one.
it already.
So I take the Asahi over that. But
See, I can't
anyway,
remember if I liked it or not because I also had it probably close proximity of that Sapporo Black Lager.
oh, that
So
was
I think
awful. Holy shit, that
Mm.
was awful. Jared
They
would
do
probably
have
like it,
a
but
black Asahi as well.
it's probably gross.
They have like
Mm.
3 varieties or
I'm
something
not
like
even gonna try
that.
it. Like the whole black thing is probably just trying to get American. That's probably just a American bullshit marketing gimmick.
Yeah,
That
I
just
like
sounds
my.
like Asahi with even more burnt
I don't
grains.
like malty lagers.
only
I
Asahi had
like.
like a dry stout that they could
No,
make
but
for
that
Ian.
Sapporo Black was just
You see, I like stouts,
it was
but
just
I
it
don't
wasn't a
like.
stout. It was just
I don't like a malty lager. I mean, it's not good.
Black Lager. Mm.
Yeah.
Anywho, what video game am I going to pair with Asahi?
Dead
You
or
know, just
Alive
because
beach
no,
volleyball.
no.
Uh-huh.
I only say that because I was in Goodwill today and I saw an original Xbox, and it had the sticker on it and it reminded me of you, Ian.
Thank you, thank you, Dave. I mean, I really like this game, but I feel like many people didn't play this game, so it's different. It's different versus Asahi we are having on. But this game, I'm gonna say Vanquish. I've recently started playing Vanquish again. I'm gonna beat it soon. I really like the game, but no one's ever played it. No one knows
I
what
did.
it is. Jared played it, but no one knows what it is really. And it's fucking awesome. It's a great game. It's Japanese, but it has everything that Asahi is. It's a little aggressive. It's a little smoky. It's a little too American, aggressive, weird.
Mm.
It's everything. It's everything Asahi is. Like you really wouldn't want to choose it, but if you are playing it, yeah, you'd play it. It's good. You'd enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, if someone gave you like, you're not gonna go out and buy a 6-pack of Asahi, but if someone just gave you a 6-pack of Asahi, you're gonna
You
fucking
wouldn't be
drink it.
upset
You're gonna
either.
fucking. You're not gonna be upset, but you're gonna fucking drink it. And that's kind of where I'm at with Vanquish. And it.
Well, we were talking about the end of the beer being kind of an off thing, and that makes me think Vanquish. The end of the game is very off because it randomly threw a quick
there's
time
the-
event in.
Sure. But the
And I had
trailers.
to redo like 3
But the
times.
credits are cool. Shut up, Jared. The credits are cool. Anyway, Vanquish, also by Japanese company Sega Platinum. Let's do it. Hey everybody, we are the Couch Co-op. Who's next week? Jared's next. Jared, what
Yeah,
beer?
okay.
What crazy ass beer are we
Yeah,
drinking?
what are you going to subject us to? Because I saw the chat and it didn't look good.
Ugh, it's
Well,
coffee.
I know we got some coffee lovers in here, so I'm
boy.
selecting the Guinness Cold Brew Coffee Nitro Edition.
Here's my shirt.
I'm going to write
Yeah,
this down
yeah.
and I'm going to hate you.
Yeah, you're gonna hate me. Maybe you'll
I
be
like you 'cause I
surprised
already
that it's
have
actually
one,
really
so-
good.
This isn't
Yeah,
peanut
yeah,
butter
try it.
this time. It's
When
just
you
coffee.
buy it, post the photo so I can make sure I got the right stuff. But
It's Guinness, but it's a brown can.
you have to buy a 4-pack of it.
No, I bought a single.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. No,
Oh.
I can get a single
see
at
right there.
Total Wine. Hey, Dave, you need to
Okay.
come visit me tomorrow on
I
your
don't
day
think
off.
I can tomorrow. but
Why?
by the
It's
same
it's
token,
a holiday. There's no one working. I have
Yeah,
so many
I have-
bags, so
I have
many
a
bags
barbecue.
of bottles and cans I need to get rid of, dude.
I got some too. You should roll up my.
I
way,
have
too.
like $200 worth.
Yeah, all the video games for the next year. Anyway, yeah.
All right.
Ugh.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you for that wonderful experience we're gonna
I
have.
can't wait to see the look on your faces. No, it's actually not as
Yeah,
bitter.
he says
as
that
you
now.
expect.
I would.
And-
I hate to say it, but just I don't like the taste of coffee,
Yeah.
and So anything that tastes of coffee, it's just kind of like it's gonna have to really be going for it to get any kind of anything
Yeah.
past the thumbs down from me.
All right. We'll see next time.
But Nick likes it,
On
so it doesn't matter. So it's not. Jared's
Alright.
not alone. Nick likes it.
All right.
Nick
so-
likes it.
I think he
Are we
likes
sure?
it.
He-
Don't
He
you?
didn't say he liked it.
He
said
likes
he
it
had
enough to drink it. He likes it enough to buy a 4-pack of it. He
Yeah.
didn't buy a single.
I didn't. Well, I didn't buy it for myself. I bought it for somebody else.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
interesting.
we're in this.
He
All
right,
fucking
so-
likes it. He fucking likes it.
So that could be a messy episode. Maybe
be a
Aaron will join us for that one.
Well, someone's
Yeah.
gonna have to
Might-
give him one.
It might be the first episode where I pour something down the drain.
Oh man.
No, the peanut butter one was the one I was afraid I was gonna pour down the drain. Like I could deal with the coffee, but the peanut butter chocolate shit, I was.
You see, like I'm the opposite to you in that, like the coffee for me is just.
Well, I hate coffee too, Dave. I hate it too.
Yeah.
I thought the peanut butter was gonna be the one. Anyway, all
Golden
right.
One.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Dave, Jared, and Nick for joining me here on the couch. And I want to remind you to find us on all the podcast platforms, to hang out with us and share us with your share us with your friends. Don't send us a message. Don't do anything. Just like tell your friends like, hey, there's these fucking idiots that talk about beer and they're really funny. That's what I want.
They can only find Japanese beers at a sushi place.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got
All right.
yeah. Till next time, Jared. What do we do?
Beer excellent, everyone.
Beer excellent. That was smooth. I like how that works. Oh my god.
Smooth like the chunky peanut butter they put in.
All right.